What's up, guys? It's your boy Spider Productions, and today we are here with my homies. This is Tesher.
Peace.
This is Bryce, and we are here to watch this video called "Being a Protector: Rules of Modern Dating and Understanding Women. It's Complicated." So I believe this video is based on asking females specific questions, and I've watched this video already. These questions were actually pretty crazy. So I wanted to see what their thoughts was on this. So without further ado, let's not waste any time. Let's get in this. The opinions captured in these videos do not necessarily reflect the views of the jury.
Why is it okay for women to feel entitled to being protected and provided for, but it is wrong for men to feel entitled to sex and intimacy?
Because we live in a double standard world.
Why is male sexuality so stigmatized?
Because we live in a double standard world.
That's because there's a double standard out here. These women, unfortunately, are taking over.
I think the honest truth to this question is just
Yeah,
because of the
that's-
reputation guys have, which
kind
I
of
mean
a
isn't
basic
fair
answer.
because a lot of guys aren't, like what their reputation
Sound like
holds up
all
to as
those
guys, and I don't think that's fair to like hold girls up to reputations as well. But yeah, I think the reputation of like guys being, horny or sleeping with any women.
That's fair. I feel like if women are entitled to be provided for, that men should be entitled to have a good sex life with their woman.
Okay, why do you think male sexuality is so stigmatized?
Because the media shows a lot of what men do outside of like, a healthy relationship and things like that. And we tend to follow the media and stuff.
If women expect men to pay for sex, why don't men expect women to pay for bodyguards?
Did you hear that question? If women should pay, if they said if men should pay women to have sex, why don't women pay men to have bodyguards?
Men to pay for sex.
And we tend to follow the media and stuff.
If women expect men to pay for sex, why don't men expect women to pay for bodyguards?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I think if you can combine the two,
Yeah, it gets you
if
thinking.
I'm paying a woman to have sex, then I'm also guarding her body while I'm doing it to protect us. So I should also be compensated for my activities.
Bodyguard? Why would you need a bodyguard though?
Well, because women want men to protect them. So if women want men to protect them and men want women to provide sex, but women expect, men to pay for what they want, then why don't we expect you to pay for what you want?
Because we don't mean protect them like physically, we just mean like protect them like our hearts.
What do you think about the mixed messages men face that
Yeah,
encourage them to be both
like,
strong
we're
and
not
tough,
saying,
but
like,
also
women
open and
don't need
vulnerable?
physical
I think
protection,
most
but
guys
they
are like
kinda
put
do.
if they are open and vulnerable to either. I feel like most friends like understand when they actually truly like settle down and love someone, they're like open for it. But when guys start getting close with a girl, they're like, oh, you're a simp and this and that. So a lot of guys will hold back, and like previously a lot of people I know, even myself, have had like ex-boyfriends say like, oh, you're a simp and this and that, but it's like they truly love you. So it's hard for guys, and I actually feel bad for them because they feel like they can't actually love someone without getting called a simp.
Okay, my thing with that is, I understand like the whole, I guess, simp thing. There are different ways, like simping, like I feel like simping. Like if you show love to your girlfriend, that's not really simping. If you're going out of your way to provide for her and help her out, I don't really consider that simping. But if you're out here like sending tips and thousands of dollars in money to females that are not going to even think of you second,
Right.
like on Twitch or on OnlyFans,
That's
stuff like that, that's simping.
Or like, say the girl that you were with dumps you, and then you're like repeatedly trying to get her back, even though she's with another dude.
Yeah, and she clearly doesn't want you. That's simping as well.
Then that's there are levels.
Does love have to last in order to be worthwhile?
Yes.
If everyone lived to be 1,000 years old, how likely would people never get sick of their partner?
Exactly.
You can also feel love within like 1 month, and then like it's gone, and then you can still feel that for like a long time afterwards. So
Yeah.
it doesn't necessarily have to last long. It's just you just have to feel it for that time.
Everyone lived to be 1,000 years old, how likely would people never get sick of their partner?
They would get sick of their partner.
So then why should love last if people are more likely to get sick of their partner?
Well, just because you get sick of your partner doesn't mean that the love's not there.
Damn, 1,000 years old. A long time. It depends. Like if you really in love with somebody, you're not gonna get sick of that person. You're gonna want that person around. No matter how long it takes, you're gonna want that person. But you gotta really be in love and invested with that person.
Right.
Why are men taught how to treat women, but women aren't taught how to treat men?
Because we have.
Women aren't taught how to treat men.
Yeah.
Wait, as soon as he's asked that question, that's what passed by.
Yeah.
Because we have. I don't know.
That is
Is
a
that
good
true,
question.
though?
Why are
To a certain
growing
extent,
up
it depends on
and
who raised you.
We're taught how
Somebody
to treat
not
women.
raising them right.
Women
That's
are
the
really taught how to
problem.
treat men.
Yeah.
How
Because
should
I
women
ask that
treat
a lot,
men?
too. Like, how come, I'm
Treat
personally,
men like
Right.
I like to be taken care of as well.
not only your
When it comes
equal,
to
but
men.
as your king. Like you want to impress your partner no matter what. You can't just like after 5 years into the relationship just get comfortable and then all of a sudden it's I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want because this person here, this and that. They're not going nowhere. Nah, you gotta keep.
Yeah, I feel like if you in a relationship, you do need to like provide new things to keep the relationship interesting. Because even if it lasts 5 years, you still want to be like, you don't want it to just die down
Yeah,
and
that's
dry out.
Yeah, right. Just put energy into it.
Yeah.
Just putting a lot of time and effort into it. Like relationship is like a plant. You gotta continue to water it and get it slow.
Yeah.
Right.
If you neglect it over a while, it's just gonna get dry.
It's
It's
gonna
gonna still
die out.
be there, but it's gonna be dry. Like,
Right.
So that's how it goes.
Right.
Trusting your spouse, man or woman.
If a man was willing to risk his marriage to be with you, would you be more flattered or offended?
Offended.
Why?
Because if you really want to be with me, then you would leave your significant other to be with me.
I would be flattered
Why?
because obviously he's getting something from me that he's not getting in his marriage.
If women want to be the center of a man's world and not second place to his wife, why would a man want to date a single mom and be...
So what?
I feel like when it comes to like breaking a marriage, it might mostly be sexual. Like looking at the other woman, I mean, like especially when it's like off rip, not just build up through time.
Yeah.
Or you have like a wife or significant other,
Mm-hmm.
then it's gonna be mostly sexual.
Yeah, it seems like most breakups in relationships or marriages usually either be like mainly sexual or mainly like financial or maybe one of them was cheating. Typically normal stuff is what it seems like.
man's world and not second place to his wife, why would a man want to be the center of a man?
Getting something from me that he's not getting in his marriage.
If women want to be the center of a man's world and not second place to his wife, why would a man want to date a single mom and be second place to her kids?
He needs to leave the wife and be with me. I can't be second in his life.
So
Well, then she has to.
that's an interesting question. So it's like if women want to be the center of a man's world and not second place to the wife, why should a man feel second place to a single mom who has kids? Because her priorities are going to be mainly on the kids, not the significant other. And then the woman would have to have competition with the other spouse, and he wouldn't have his full attention on her. So yeah, it's an interesting question.
Leave her kids. I'm kidding. Okay. All right. Never mind.
Well, love comes in all types of different shapes and sizes. I don't think that it would be a second place. I don't think he would look at it that way.
Well, right, but I'm just saying if a man has a choice to be with a woman who has kids or doesn't,
Yeah.
I mean, there's a term called baggage, right?
Right.
And so my point is, I mean, either way, in both relationships, you're competing with somebody else. You're not getting that partner's undivided attention,
I don't believe that men feel that they would be competing with children. I don't think that they would be.
I feel like that could happen.
I think that it would be,
I feel like men could feel that.
baggage. I get
It's
that,
like
but I don't
upset
look at
men
it that way
not
because
feel that
I have a
Right.
child
Or
and.
not like-
No, I know. I mean, but
To some extent,
but
other kids.
whether or not it's valid or not,
Yeah,
do you
that's
recognize
right.
the stigma that maybe some men have about dating a single mom, whether or not you agree with it
Yes,
personally?
I do.
Do women have a right to be afraid of men when 80% of all violent crime is done by men?
Nah. Reason being, you could.
Because
a crime.
honestly, that's kind of like the whole feminist thing. Like, feminists feel like all men are a specific way, so they target all men as their audience. But yeah, like I feel like if a majority of crime is done by men, should all women fear all men because of that? No, I feel like no. I can see why, but no.
Be done by anybody. Even though like you said, 80% is done by men. It can still be done by anybody. So you should be equally, not even afraid, aware of that. Someone can commit this crime if they wanted to.
How is that different than fearing certain races based on statistical data? In other words, why is it okay for women to be sexist but not racist?
I don't think it's different. I think it's the same. You can be objectified
it's
by
not
any race.
focused on though. Like he says, why is it okay for women to be sexist but not racist? I feel like it's the same, yes, but at the same time, it's not really. It's not really pressure. There's no like real like what's the word? There's no real like focus on it. Like as soon as somebody says something racist, all eyes are on that person.
Yeah, because it's a deeper problem.
Yeah, but like with sexism, I feel like it's not really noticeable because most people don't really care about that. So like with racism, it's understandable because there's history to that.
Sexism is like easily overlooked because most people will not be paying attention.
Yeah, and most people don't really care. So yeah, I feel like it's understandable.
Race. You can be criticized by any race. It's all the same.
No, I don't necessarily feel like women have a right to, but at the same time they do. It's kind of mixed emotions for me. I feel like a lot of girls, like, while they're walking down the street and whatnot, definitely should feel unsafe because a man is way more, like, you know, muscular or, like, stronger and have, like, you know, obviously, like, a bigger reputation. And like you said, 80% of men are in the crime rate. I don't necessarily want to look at it like 80% in the crime rate. I want to look at, like, sexual harassment to women or this and that because I feel like I can't walk down like a street. Like right now I'm walking on Las Vegas Boulevard and I am a little bit suspicious with my 3 girlfriends and that sucks, you know, being like a vulnerable girl, like just walking down in a dress. I feel like I'm being like, you know, kind of like seen like, oh, she wants this, she wants that. So I definitely feel like, you know, there are things and like being a girl I feel like that and it does suck, but
why do so many women complain about being sexually objectified when the entire Vegas economy is built on sex?
Hypocrites.
Okay. Is it realistic to think that nobody should ever feel unsafe?
Yeah, I feel like it is because like I said, like I'm not trying to be sexist. Women have, you know, obviously sexually harassed guys too, so everyone should feel open to it, even if you're a guy and you're the most muscular guy in the world, or you're like the most, like, you know, like protected guy in the world, like celebrities. You should still feel like you should like watch your back, definitely, because you never know what's gonna happen, and it's scary enough to say, but that's the world we're in today.
Are men the biggest threat to women, or are men the biggest protectors of women?
I mean both. Like, the women can walk down the street and be catcalled, and that's not okay, and that's very threatening. But also, like, you could have your husband who protects you and does things for you. So men could play either role. It depends how they act.
Aren't most cops and soldiers men?
I think so.
I think it hurts.
Wait, hold up. Yeah, commercials. Sorry, guys. These commercials faster.
It definitely depends on how they were raised.
Yeah.
Aren't most...
Does things for you. So men could play either role. It depends how they act.
Aren't most cops and soldiers men?
I think so.
Aren't most cops and soldiers men?
Absolutely.
So then wouldn't men be the biggest protectors of women?
Very true.
Would you trust a female cop to stop a sexual assault?
Absolutely.
Okay, so then why are men expected to be protectors if women are just as capable of having that protector role?
So I keep saying this, and I think it's society, and I also think that men are taught more how to do that, and women aren't necessarily.
Has catcalling or sending unsolicited dick pics ever worked to attract a woman?
I never did that. I don't do
Well, why would men continue that behavior when it has such a low success rate?
I feel
thirsty.
like,
That's what they call it, thirsty.
Right, but I mean, it doesn't work, so I don't know why. Why do you think men continue to do that?
Because the same person that is not working for it, they're not getting anywhere. So they gotta resort to whatever measures that they resort to.
Do you think that men are the biggest threat to women, or are men the biggest protectors of women?
Ooh, that's hard. I feel like men are... I mean, honestly, like, if you look at it, like, I would say the most threat because if you are with a guy, anything can still happen, and if you're walking down with your boyfriend, there's so many other guys around you that could hurt you if you weren't with your boyfriend. So, yeah, that one guy can protect you, but can he protect you from 1,000 people with you, like, or like around you? Probably not.
Well, if a woman is attacked in public and a man is attacked in public, who do you think is more likely to be rescued?
Wait, hold on.
Public and
People with you, like, or like around you, probably not.
well, if a woman is attacked in public and a man is attacked in public, who do you think is more likely to be rescued?
Woman. Hands
Ooh.
down. Yeah,
That's hard too.
That's
I
not
think-
that's not hard.
Situation
Yeah, that's
where
not
the women and children go off.
Yeah, that's not hard at all. Women get saved most if they're in a violent situation.
Yeah.
Men, you just fend for yourselves. Like, yep, you get in the situation, gotta deal with it.
You got to.
So it's women.
Obviously, in my opinion, I feel like it's kind of obvious. A girl is more likely to, just because she's seen as more of like, you know, like the one to get more hurt than a guy, because he can kind of protect himself more than a girl. So I would say a guy.
I mean, society has always, you know, perceived men as the...
Okay, I'm sorry. Why the hell are you walking around late at night downtown LA with a sweater on? I'm sure it's hot out there. Jesus.
providers, as the protectors, as the kind of like solid ground to the family.
So why are women so afraid to be out in public when they're far more likely to be rescued?
I think that this is just because of, you know, what has happened in this world today. I mean, we aren't able to protect ourselves, and, you know, if girls don't go through like self-defense classes or this and that, they're more likely to be grabbed and taken to, you know, other places where they aren't able to be protected, especially in places that people aren't. But I say that just because if, you know, there's more likely of a chance to be a girl like in public to get saved than a guy, and there's more of like a percentage, if you looked it up, of a girl to get taken than a guy, or, you know, beat up than a guy. Just, you know.
Would you agree that the best means of physical protection in our society would either be owning a gun or calling the police?
This is so hard because I don't have a gun.
Because my thing is, you can call the police no matter where you are, but you know full well it's gonna take the police a bit to get to you. And if you're in a desperate situation, like you get mugged, you get robbed, or it's a hostage situation,
it's a now type situation.
Yeah, like, so it'll take forever for the cops to get there. And even if they do get there, it takes them a long time to come up with a plan to solve the issue. Right. So yeah, I would say owning a gun is better. Though it is also very risky, because like even if you have that type of weapon and you have the ability to solve the problem, people will be so into their heads because they're so adrenaline heavy that they wouldn't really know what to do and they make the wrong decision. So I still feel like the gun is the better.
Gun, and
Well, let me ask you this, right?
It's hard for me.
Why do you think that men are still expected to be protectors when a woman is just as capable of calling the police or firing a gun as a man?
You know, I'm a single mom, so it's like, you know, I definitely feel like the protector, and I feel like I can do it on my own. So if I did get married to...
I mean, yeah, from a parent perspective, you have to kind of feel that way. Like, you have to feel like you're the protector, even if you're a single mom or you have both parents. Right. Both of you have to feel like the protector. So yeah, I get it from her perspective.
A guy, like, I wouldn't expect that of him. I think that would be something that we would be able to, you know, do together. Both provide, protect, all of that.
It's kind of like you have to get a license too. I'm pretty sure in my state that I live in, to get a gun, and you have to get like that, you know, all that work. But guys are more likely to, just because of. I mean, in my friend groups, guys are always getting guns. Like, they're like, you know, down for that. But we're just kind of like, you know, the more shy ones. So I think that, you know, girls just don't want to have to go through that, and, you know.
What is the definition of a butch lesbian?
I have no clue.
Isn't it a woman? What is the definition of a butch lesbian?
I have no clue.
Isn't it a woman who takes on the man's role in a lesbian relationship?
Oh, is that what it is?
That's what it is.
Okay,
yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so my question is, why are there so many women who walk around in a state of perpetual fear when women are biologically capable of being a protector? Okay,
Yeah.
so my question is, why are there so many women who walk around in a state of perpetual fear when women are biologically capable of being a protector?
If they're lesbians?
I think if this is more of like...
I feel like that kind of falls on the standard of if you're born to be a specific sexuality. And this is just my opinion, personally. I feel like your sexuality is not something you're born with. I feel like it's a choice based on your life experiences. Like, you go through life, like, when you're born, the only thing that's factual that cannot be changed is your race and your gender. Like, those are things that cannot be changed. When you grow up, you choose, like, you know, who you're into, what type of personality you have, your friend group, your likes, your dislikes, the things you like to watch,
Exactly.
the TV shows you like to get into, whether you're close to your parents or not. Like, you choose all those things. So my thing is, I understand those who think that a sexuality is something you're born with, but personally, through my experiences, it's more so a choice than something you're just born with. Because that's like saying you're born being Christian. And, like, yeah, you can be, because your whole family can be Christian. But you don't have to follow that same standard that your family does either. So I feel like it's not necessarily something you're born with.
Because I think girls are just scared to, like, come... Are you saying, like, girls are scared to kind of come out and be, like, that protector for another
What
girl?
I'm saying, if a woman is capable of having the man or protector role in a lesbian relationship, why can't she have the protector role in a heterosexual relationship?
Okay, yeah, for sure. Honestly, I don't know why. I feel like girls, like, most girls I know, and, like, I'm just saying from personal experience, girls, like, want to feel, like, kind of, like, the submissive and, like, feel like their guy actually cares about them, and that's the biggest thing, like, feeling like a guy actually cares about you and, like, giving you that text back or calling you first and stuff. So I think that's kind of what it is. I don't think it's necessarily being scared of it.
Right. It's just like they want to mess with women who, like, are more manly, like tomboys, or like what they call dykes.
But there's literal men out here and they're not searching hard enough because they want to give up so quickly.
Like, there's no good men.
It's like there's no good men because all the men are just cheaters.
The women that treat me good, but like, if you did, you just gotta dig. Like, it's not.
Yeah, it's gonna take.
Or it's probably in your face. Usually, this is how it happens in school. Like, it's in front of your face the whole time, but you think he's a lame, so you don't give him a chance.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Like,
a lot of that starts in school.
That is true. Like, you just see somebody who could be good for you, but then you're like, I don't want to risk the friendship, or I don't want to risk, like, what people might say, or
exactly.
Yeah,
it's
caring
just
too
like,
much about the outside.
Yeah, you're caring too much about what other people think than your own. With your own
think
thoughts.
that's like most of the problem with that.
Yeah.
Is there anything in this world that is not subject to question?
No.
Why don't more people judge others by their actions and not their words?
Because your actions speak louder than words, obviously.
I agree with that too. Like, with actions over words, you can say whatever you want. You can either believe it or not, but your actions at the end of the day dictate if you're actually what you say is the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if like, let's just say you could tell me that you were gonna come to my birthday party yesterday, but then your actions said that you weren't coming because you didn't come.
Right.
That's like your actions spoke louder than your words because you made a promise and you didn't follow through with it.
Exactly.
So yeah, like, your actions definitely speak louder than words because you can say whatever you want as long as you prove it.
Is it that in the age of social media and misinformation, people have never been more certain?
Wait, what?
Obviously.
Why is it that in the age of social media and misinformation, people have never been more certain?
Is that a statement?
Why aren't more people asking questions?
They're
Hold
afraid.
on, I need to hear that question again because I was just like.
Obviously.
Why is it that in the age of social media and misinformation, people have never been more certain?
Oh, he's like, people are sure.
Why?
What is it? Because
So
I'm still
people
kind
have confidence saying whatever the heck they want online. That's what he's basically saying. It's like, why are they so certain? That nobody questions anything.
Yeah, they find
They're like,
information right.
Yeah.
And they believe just because they've seen it at that time and they're who they are, what they see is right.
And then plus, if you say it online, if you're not like, if you don't have your no face, no case, nobody can judge you for what you say online if they don't know who you are in real life.
Right.
So
it's not a test to the mindset. You're just like, okay, that must be my opinion because I see it.
Right.
Why aren't more people asking questions?
They're afraid.
There's too many answers, and there's too many biases.
There's too many surroundings.
Yeah.
You've got your friends that are around that are going to judge you on your answer and your qualification of what you say about that person. I mean, everyone is judging.
Yeah.
So you're
human. You should be able to adapt to all that.
I feel like you should take what everyone else says and then make your own opinion based on the other things that people say.
Right. So true.
Why is it that in the age of social media and misinformation, people have never been more certain?
Because social media is a lie, and people could project whatever they want to project to you on social media.
Why aren't more people asking questions?
because they doing the same thing and making them stories on social media.
You got the illusion, the TV, social networks. Their brain is being like programmed to be a certain way. That the illusion is basically turning into reality.
Just more certain about, like, people are just stubborn in what they believe. They don't question
because
things.
like in our age now, social media is the biggest thing ever right now. So like everybody's gonna think like based on social media opinions, and if you like somebody on social media who's popular, you're gonna really follow their opinion because you like them that much. But then once you get older, you're like, hopefully, you're like, I don't know if I really agree with all the things she says or he says.
Right. Or just because they had a certain number of likes doesn't mean that they were right in a certain
It's
area.
just like I said, you always have to take what everyone says and then base your own
number on. That's the problem with social media. I just realized this right now. Everything's a number. Like you have numbers of likes, numbers of follows, numbers of
views, numbers of subscribers.
They even number like your dislikes. Like everything's quantitative in there. It's not, facts aren't quantitative. It's just that's it. That's the fact. And people don't understand the difference between a fact and an opinion. And they don't do the research. They don't try to take the effort to do the research. That's why in-person meetings are so crucial to society.
Yeah, because then you're basing the opinion off of feeling, and then also off of like what you're
face to face. Like people don't say the same stuff.
No, because like if you do it off social media, you have time to think about it. You have time to search it up. You have time to then take the time to formulate on your own opinion. But if someone straight up asks you that question, you see all these people out there like, I don't really know what to say, because like you're already trying to think of the question. You're trying to think of what it means to you, and then you're going to answer based on what it means to you. So yeah, we need more in-person conversations like that.
That's because of conditioning. People are conditioned, man. I learned about conditioning a long time ago, and unfortunately, and I can teach this conditioning because when we were babies growing up, we were conditioned, always told no, 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 and never really had any positive input. So that's where people are just set in their ways. They're not open-minded. They're not teachable, and it's sad.
Really, he just spoke some facts right
there.
Yeah, they're not teachable. People don't like to absorb information anymore.
Yeah, like they just absorb the one. Like a lot of people are more one-sided when it comes to like opinions and when it comes to arguments. You think of the one side, but you don't think of both sides. That's why I say, like, if you're ever getting into a debate, an argument, or any type of situation like that, it's always best to know both sides of the argument, so you know which side you feel means more to you and which side you'll be able to help out.
Education too for like debating too and conversating in general. Like people don't take public speaking classes in school, which is a huge problem. I think.
Yeah, it's not like a mandatory thing. You only take like public speaking in like college,
right?
And that's something you can choose.
You
whether
actually
to do
need to know how to publicly speak.
Otherwise, you're gonna be like what you said with the crowd thinking, where everyone's just like at the hive mind, like agreeing with each other.
Because no matter what field, there's always gonna be leaders and followers, no matter what job you take.
Right. Like we could have been just agreeing with Jacques this whole time because like he's the leader of the channel. Yeah. Right. But no, I put our own thoughts into it and had a discussion.
Definitely. But yeah, I think that definitely got us thinking. That definitely got a lot of our thoughts out, and I feel like it definitely was something that was needed to be talked about. So if you guys like this video, let me know in the comments down below. Drop a like on the video for your boy. Hit the subscribe button to be part of the community, and hit bell notifications so you guys know when we will post next. And if you want more collabs with my fellas right here, let me know also, and we will see you guys next time. Peace.